Hello, so in this next video, I want to talk about the two main types of energy. And so basically, the two main types of energy are known as kinetic energy and potential energy. All other forms of energy are either classified as kinetic or potential. Alright, so all you have to do to figure out if something's kinetic or potential is looking to see the motion, position, or the shape of the object. So let's first talk about kinetic energy. Kinetic energy has to do with an object that is in motion. Or we can think of it as the energy of an object due to its motion. That is kinetic energy. So a moving car, a running dog, a rolling ball. These are all objects that have kinetic energy because they are in motion. All right. A couple of other things to understand is that we can actually calculate the amount of kinetic energy that an object has by this formula, which is 1/2 mass times velocity squared. So what this more or less tells us is that if our mass gets bigger, an object is going to have greater kinetic energy. And if something is going even faster, then its kinetic energy winds up becoming even larger than that. All right, so just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that kinetic energy can, in fact, be affected by the mass of the object as well as the velocity of the object. Moving on to potential energy. Potential energy tells us that an object can have energy even if, just depending on the position or the shape of an object. So that energy, again, is called energy that results from the position or the shape of an object. That is our potential energy. So essentially what this is telling us is that something doesn't need to be in motion for it to have energy. It'll have energy even if it's just something that's sitting there. So like the book sitting on your desk, the iPad sitting on your desk, it has the potential to do work, therefore it has potential energy. Now, when we talk about potential energy, there are two forms of potential energy that we'll start talking about here in this video. And the first one is called gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy has to do with the height of an object. So the higher up an object is, the greater its potential energy is. So if we look here at this picture, the man in the red shirt, if we just look at height, the man in the red shirt has a greater potential energy than this person here in the yellow shirt because they are at a lower height. All right, so that is gravitational potential energy. It is due to the height of the object. And then another form of potential energy that we'll talk about here in this video is known as elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy is energy associated with an object that can be compressed or stretched. So a way to think about this is essentially a spring. A spring has elastic potential energy because we can stretch it out a lot, or we can push it together, we're compressing it. And what you see here in this picture is an example of elastic potential energy. Right, when you push down on the trampoline, you're stretching it out, and then it comes together and it pushes you up. All right, so this is all elastic potential energy. So there we have it. We have our kinetic energy, which is due to motion. Potential energy, which is due to position or shape. Gravitational potential energy, which is related to height, and elastic potential energy, which is related to compressing or stretching. Make sure you add this information to your notes and you'll be all set.